I've been telling you guys. The Democrats are doing this because they know the GOP will not respond appropriately. That's the only way you see stuff like this happens. And they're still out here talking soft. Still acting soft. Instead of saying exactly what needs to be said. We will arrest you when we take back power. Just wait. All right, guys. So we got to talk about an absolute bombshell story that has my head spinning, okay? As it is an overt example of exactly what I've been warning you guys about, which is the politicization of our justice system, in which the Democrats are weaponizing the alphabet agencies like the DOJ and the FBI against their political opponents, while ignoring the extremism and the crimes that are constantly being committed by people that they agree with politically. And this has been turned up to a whole nother level, guys. They've turned this up to a whole nother level as allegedly, the DOJ has raided Trump's Mar-a-Lago home over some documents that Trump allegedly took from the White House. Now, this started, right? This story, okay? I saw a story earlier today. It was a funny story, okay, because it's so ridiculous. The mainstream media was putting out this bombshell that there was photographic evidence that Trump had basically flushed White House documents down the toilet, right? He had clogged the toilet with White House documents, which apparently is not allowed, okay? And they have been basically claiming that Trump had done that, okay? That's a part of the whole January 6th thing, Trump trying to get rid of evidence or whatever thing, right? Anyways, so they put that story out there, and I want you guys to take a look at how embarrassing this is, the evidence that they have that Trump actually did that. Take a look.
Toilet joke, toilet gate. I totally messed that up. Toilet gate may sound like a joke.
A toilet joke is something completely different.
Toilet joke is different. This is not a joke. But the allegations, they're really no laughing matter here. In her new book, Maggie Haberman of the New York Times confirms a habit of the former president that wasn't just unhealthy for the White House plumbing, it was bad for the presidency as well. And she's got the photos to prove it. They're kind of gross, but also very important, Maggie. So tell us what we are looking at here.
Brianna, thanks for having me. Gross and important, I think, are the two important words here. What you're looking at is two photos, one from the White House, which is what the one that looks like it has carpet on the bottom. The other is from an overseas trip that a Trump White House source provided me recently after some of the revelations during the January 6th hearing. This person, like a number of staffers I spoke with, while some of the testimony that has been heard has been disputed, generally found the overall picture of Trump to be pretty familiar with what they'd experienced, and they wanted to share them. Now, again, as you say, people are going to make all kinds of jokes about toilets and so forth. It would still be a story if it was a fireplace. And the point is about the destruction of records, which are supposed to be preserved under the Presidential Records Act, which is a Watergate era creation.
Yeah, so allegedly Trump tried to destroy White House documents to get rid of evidence, right? Evidence for what they can never articulate. But yeah, allegedly tried to do that. And their evidence for that is two pictures of toilets that allegedly belong to the White House and on some overseas trip, and apparently that is supposed to be smoking gun evidence of Trump doing that, right? I just want you guys to understand how silly that is, okay? That was the news earlier today, right? I got a laugh out of that. It wasn't even worth covering, right? But it is escalated into this, which is somewhat related because, again, the FBI raid was related to materials Trump allegedly brought to his Florida residence after his presidency. And I want to go ahead and play Dan Bongino's reaction to this, because this is exactly what my reaction was when I first heard and read about this, and probably at least what half of America's reaction when they first heard about this as well too. Take a look.
Let's go to Dan Bongino, the host of Unfiltered on Saturday nights. Dan, your quick emotional reaction. I think everyone's a little emotional here about this raid.
Yeah, I mean, you think this is some third world bullshit right here. Let me say it again. Third world bullshit. I mean every word of that. I don't care that it's cable news. I was a federal agent. I raised my right hand. And I swore to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. And I love this country. This is a freaking disgrace. A disgrace. We don't live in Cuba. We don't live under Kim Jong-un. We live in a constitutional republic, a representative democracy. You have a bunch of FBI agents raiding the home of a former president because they don't like his politics? Are you kidding me? You've spent this whole show, Jesse, and I've spent my entire time either on Fox or on my podcast exposing the left for claiming Russia interfered in an election as Hillary Clinton paid off a bunch of foreign agents, her team literally to fabricate a story that occupied the nation for 4 years. What's she doing right now? Getting a manicure in freaking Chappaqua. She's not doing squat. Nothing. Hunter Biden is having sex on tape while doing crack.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Okay, that was my initial reaction. How in the world is the FBI raiding Mar-a-Lago, but they haven't raided the Clinton's house? Okay, after we know that she had a private server in her home with government information, classified government information. Okay? But no raid of Hillary Clinton. Again, guys, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I told you guys that we need a stronger Republican Party because Democrats are not afraid to do whatever they have to do to make their political opponents look like fools. Okay? They will try to lock them up. They don't care. And again, this is why I've been telling you guys time and time and time again that the GOP coming out here and, you know, all this, you know, hey, Democrats need to hold their people accountable. No, the GOP needs to start talking about locking up leftists. That is the only way this is going to stop, right? That's the only way this is going to stop. Because as long as the GOP continues to play soft on this, this will continue to happen. Because Democrats have become emboldened to this stuff. So let's read about this. After former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home in Florida was raided by FBI agents, Republicans are slamming the Biden administration and accusing the Justice Department of political weaponization, while Democrats are lauding the agency for holding Trump accountable for wrongdoing. Yeah, holding Trump accountable for wrongdoing. Okay, says the Department of Justice, the same people who won't hold the left-wing extremists that are literally tried to intimidate the Supreme Court justice to change a decision they didn't like, right? Illegally protest outside their home. At one point, you had an assassination attempt, chased them out of their homes. Okay, you have people bombing and vandalizing and setting on fire pregnancy centers. DOJ turns their head to that, right? Nothing to see there. Nothing to see there. But these people want to talk about accountability. Accountability, my ass. Accountability, my ass. I don't want to hear about it. Again, this pisses me off, man. Again, it just shows you exactly what I've been telling you guys about these Democrats, man. It just shows you they're doing this because they know the Republicans are weak at the national level. This is the only way they would do something like this and not think that, how can this turn around and be used against me? They know they're not going to use it against them. But let's read a little bit more here. Quote, the raid of Mar-a-Lago is another escalation in the weaponization of federal agencies against the regime's political opponents, while people like Hunter Biden get treated with kid gloves, said Republican Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Now the regime is getting another 87K IRS agents to wield against his adversaries. Banana Republic. Facts. Facts. And speaking of Ron DeSantis, he is right now, hands down, the strongest Republican that's in a major elected office. Okay, I have no doubts in my mind that Ron DeSantis is going to do exactly what I've been advocating for Republicans to do. Basically do the same thing to the Democrats that Democrats are doing to them, right? Ron DeSantis showed us, you know, when it came to that woke general, right? Attorney general in his state. Look, you know, if you're not going to follow the laws, I'm going to get rid of you. Quick, fast, and a hurry, right? Giving the Democrats a taste of their own medicine. Again, these GOP leaders, they need to follow behind DeSantis. DeSantis is the guy that should come out here and lead on this, okay? He's setting the example for how you deal with this, okay? He's the only person I have faith in that can be able to take on the Democrats and this level of escalation that the Democrats have now engaged in, because this has now become an all-out political war, okay? This is no holds barred. Multiple sources tell Fox News the FBI's raid of Mar-a-Lago is related to the materials Trump allegedly bought to his private residency after his presidency concluded. That matter was referred to the Justice Department by the National Archives and Records Administration, which said it found classified material in 15 boxes at the residences. Again, they didn't do all this when Hillary Clinton had classified material on a private server in her home. Where was all this at? Where were the FBI at on that? Again, it just goes to show you how overtly political this stuff is. House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy issued a warning to Attorney General Merrick Garland that extensive oversight by Republicans in Congress will be headed his way. Yeah, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. You just talking, bruh. You just talking, bruh. Because low-key, people like Kevin McCarthy, Mitch McConnell, they're cheering this on. Right? They come out here and they talk tough, but again, they're not issuing any threats towards the left-wing extremists who are constantly breaking the law on a day-to-day basis, who Democrats refuse to lock up. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem blasted Biden's FBI, calling the agency's actions, quote, un-American in a statement posted to Twitter Monday evening. Quote, the FBI raid of President Trump's home is an unprecedented political weaponization of the Justice Department. They've been after President Trump as a candidate, as president, and now as a former president. Using the criminal justice system in this manner is un-American, wrote Noem. Now, here's the thing. Before, I was confident that the DOJ wasn't going to charge Trump because everybody knows there's nothing really there, right? Even if they charged him, they wouldn't be able to prove that he was guilty of conspiracy, okay? Which is basically what they're trying to get him of, right? They're trying to get him on conspiracy and intent-related charges. However, now with this happening, I don't know, man. I don't know. They might charge him. Who knows? It clearly seems that the DOJ is been politicized, right? They're an arm of the Democrat Party. They're a law enforcement arm of the Democrat Party. Simply there to go after the Democrats' political opponents. Quote, nothing like this has ever happened to a president of the United States before. After working and cooperating with the relevant government agencies, this unannounced raid on my home was not necessary or appropriate, Trump said Monday. Quote, it is prosecutorial misconduct, the weaponization of the justice system, and an attack by radical left Democrats who desperately don't want me to run for president in 2024, especially based on recent polls, and who will likewise do anything to stop Republicans and conservatives in the upcoming midterm elections, the former president continued. Yeah, this is going to embolden a whole lot of conservatives and Republicans to vote in the midterms. This is going to backfire on the Democrats, I'm telling you, okay? But Squad Representative Jamila Jayapal, Democrat from Washington, said the FBI is working towards accountability and went as far as to say Trump should be in prison. Quote, that's what happens when you break the law, try to steal an election, and incite a deadly insurrection. Donald Trump should be in jail. I'm glad to see the FBI taking steps toward accountability. Well, I never want to hear anything from the people that supported BLM and Tifa and the Roe v. Wade protesters talk to me about anything having to do with accountability whatsoever. I don't want to hear about it. Representative Ro Khanna, Democrat of California, called Trump's statement defensive during an MSNBC segment Monday. Quote, but look, the FBI doesn't just go in unless a judge signs off on a search warrant. That means they have some probable evidence about possible wrongdoing, and it's something that the whole country needs to pay attention to, and shows that Justice Garland, Attorney General Garland, is setting this up step by step, he stated. Quote, I think Attorney General Garland and the Justice Department have done a very good job by following the facts, he said. Quote, I do think that this gives me confidence that the Justice Department is really pursuing this thoroughly, objectively, and in a non-political way, Khanna continued. Yeah, get out of here with that, man. This is 100% political. Congressional Republicans also took to Twitter criticizing the FBI's unprecedented raid. Quote, the only thing missing from the unprecedented FBI raid at President Trump's home is Muammar Gaddafi's sunglasses and cap on Joe Biden, wrote Representative Andy Biggs, a Republican from Arizona. Rep. Jody Heiss asked on Twitter, what does the FBI know about Hunter Biden? GOP Representative Jim Banks of Indiana mentioned the $739 billion Manchin-Schumer bill that just passed the Senate, which expanded the IRS in his rebuke of the FBI's actions. Quote, if the FBI can raid the home of a former U.S. president, imagine what 87,000 more IRS agents will do to you. He quipped on Twitter. Federal laws will bar the removal of classified documents to unauthorized locations, though it is possible that Trump could try to argue that as president, he was the ultimate declassification authority. All right, so here's my problem with the GOP. They still speaking soft on this. They still speaking soft on this, man. None of them are saying, you know what? If this is the game the Democrats want to play, wait till we take back power. Just wait till we take back power. We are coming after you. We are going to arrest you and your left-wing extremists. We're going to kick out some of the left-wing extremists in Congress. We're going to try to get them out the same way they tried to get out Marjorie Taylor Greene, okay? We're going to do everything that you guys try to do to us. Okay, I don't want to hear this mess about what. Just imagine what the Democrats would do with the IRS. We already know what the Democrats going to do with IRS. What I want to know from the GOP is, are you going after the Democrats the same way they're going after you? Because I've been talking about it for too long. I've been telling you guys. The Democrats are doing this because they know the GOP will not respond appropriately. That's the only way you see stuff like this happens. And they're still out here talking soft. Still acting soft. Instead of saying exactly what needs to be said. We will arrest you when we take back power. Just wait. Keep doing it. Everything you do, we're going to turn around and do it right back to you. Until the GOP starts talking like that, grow some cojones, expect Democrats to continue this. Because otherwise, why not? Why not? Again, this is absolutely insane. But hey, again, I'm trying to tell you guys, Democrats have no problems. They have no issues whatsoever doing this to the GOP. The GOP, on the other hand, they always try to take the high road. And this is what you get when you always try to take the high road. Democrats are sharks, man. They smell blood in the water, and when they smell blood in the water, they don't hold back. Again, it's time for the GOP to grow some cojones. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.